Alright, so symbols.
Shh. You can go in any order that you like.
So the
No
symbols in
offense,
chapter.
but I can't see.
Why would anyone take offense to that?
I don't know.
Thank you, but that's nice. You need to be okay. Can everyone else see?
Yeah, can you all see now?
I can't see.
Okay.
But like
I
everybody can
can't
see if
see.
you're all standing.
If you can't see, please move to an empty desk where you can see. Okay, because they're pretty well spread out.
Okay. So chapters 6 and 7, the symbols in them, by Jacob Arbo, who is missing today. Gatsby's parents are a symbol because they were the true cause for his unhappiness, Jay Gatsby's unhappiness. They were poor farm people, while all Gatsby wanted was wealth and powerful parents. After being embarrassed of his past, James Gatz decides to become Jay Gatsby. The yacht.
Okay. The only thing I'm going to tell you right now, what are you missing?
Pages.
Pages. You don't have any textual references. Are there any page numbers on any of these symbols, the slides?
Yeah.
No.
No.
Okay, how about the other items? Do you have pages on those?
Yeah, I do on mine.
Okay. Okay, we'll go through this, then I'll cover this with Jacob when he gets back.
The yacht. And this quote from the book. To the young Gatz, resting on his oars and looking up the railed deck, the yacht represented all the beauty and glamour in the world. And he described this as growing up poor, the enormous yacht seemed like Gatsby's ultimate dream. The yacht represented wealth and success, as well did the man on the boat. Dan Cody. Cody and his lifestyle became Gatsby's dream.
Okay, so now in this chapter, we're learning about Gatsby's real past.
Another symbol from chapter 7 is the light. The light represented hope and dreams. Gatsby held a lot of parties with artificial lights at night, trying to lure Daisy in. Now that he has Daisy, he no longer needs the illusions.
So do you know, okay, so the light represented hopes and dreams, so if he doesn't need Daisy and he doesn't need the illusion, then you'll want to connect that to a quote that says what?
He's no longer alone.
What happens with the lights? Okay, so that's something that we'll want to look for in here.
Different colors. Daisy and Jordan wore white dresses representing innocence. Gatsby's green seats in his car represented his hopes for reuniting with Daisy.
Why? How?
Daisy's green light.
Yeah, just read.
Ah, see?
Green means go.
Okay, that's what I'm asking you to do. Connect those things. Okay. Like Daisy and Jordan representing innocence. Daisy and Jordan don't seem like very innocent characters to me, so why is that white representing innocence?
Because white's like a plain color. It doesn't have any like neon color aspect to it. It's just white.
Yes, but okay, but that the fact that Daisy and Jordan are wearing them.
Because they seem innocent until you meet them.
They want to seem innocent. Like Daisy seems like she's trying to be nice, but she's actually chasing money.
It doesn't throw any shade on the truth.
Okay, you should be able to explain that. Like if you're showing.
I was expecting the team number to be here today.
Okay. So maybe we'll hear from Jacob in the future. Okay.
Another symbol involving different colors was Gatsby Yellow's car. That represented his corrupt pursuit of the American dream, and it also is the same car that ran Myrtle over.
Wait, Myrtle got ran over?
Did you not read the book?
This is an important chapter.
And then Mr. Wilson.
Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, don't spoil my chapter.
Also, some more different.
Okay, give them your attention, please.
Also, some more different colors was Dr. Eckelberg's eyes. His blue eyes represented God watching over America as the American dream, and the yellow rim of his glasses also represents the corruption of the American dream.
Okay, how so?
Called it.
Okay.
Yeah, we can honestly just face it.
Okay, because what I run into is sometimes students rely too much on helpful sites like Cliff Notes, Spark Notes, that sort of thing to help guide them through some of this, which is, that's a resource you can use, right? But you need to understand, you need to support why it's saying you need to be able to make that connection, okay? Okay, go ahead.
The weather was also another symbol in chapter 7. It represents the coming conflict and the climax of emotions yet to come. It also symbolizes the mix and confusion of emotions.
Okay, so what's the weather like?
Stormy.
Come on, guys, you've read this.
Yes, we have.
What's it like?
Misty. It's calm.
Everything is.
I haven't read that far.
I haven't read that far.
What's the temperature like?
It's calm.
Hot.
I'm on like
It's hot. Hot, hot, hot.
hot and steamy.
Is it North Dakota
Yes.
hot or everywhere else hot?
No, it's city hot.
North Dakota hot is
Must
like
be.
60 degrees.
So it's kind of like Louisiana, where it's like
Yes. Yes, once you get next to that water, hot.
Nice.
The green light is also another symbol in chapter 7. The green light symbolized the hope that Gatsby had for having the relationship with Daisy. But this time he made it past the green light onto Bookman's lawn, Buchanan's lawn. Nick leaves Gatsby, in quote, standing there in the moonlight, watching over nothing, end quote, page 145.
See, that's what you need. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you need.
Therefore, foreshadowing that Daisy and Gatsby will not end up together and his American dream is over. Because the green light is passing over Gatsby's house. It is no longer shining in his house.
It's sad.
And the sketch note for this.
All right.
The light bulb is there for the artificial light. The glasses there with the blue eyes, that's Dr. Eckelberg's eyes and glasses.
Who is Dr. Eckelberg again?
Big
That-
sign.
big
Around
sign.
Right.
sign, yeah.
It's the sign.
Doesn't say those glasses are round.
They're
James
round at the
Strong
bottom.
artist. The hot weather, there you see the
Oh, there you go.
the sun and the steamy lines there.
Aha, so we know what the weather is. Right?
Yeah.
It's hot and steamy. Yep.
The white dress of Jordan and Daisy showing their innocence. There's Gatsby's parents in the green shirt and the indigo shirt.
So what's the... Are you going to talk about his parents later?
I will touch on that.
Okay, because that's important.
There's his yacht there.
That looks like an ark. Looks like Noah's Ark.
Well, they're both boats.
boats. They're going water. There's Gatsby's
Yeah.
green seat. That's
I think your drawing is quite good.
There's
Why is everyone hating on his drawing?
I don't know.
There's
It looks like a drawing.
Gatsby's
I
yellow.
love your drawing.
Let them talk,
There's
please.
Gatsby's yellow car there, and there's also on the bottom right-hand corner the green light. Left-hand corner on your screen. And that's for symbols for chapter 6 and 7.
Okay, wait a second. Mason has a
If you
question.
go back to one of the symbol pages, the one where it has it cited, if you actually go to page 145, it's not on there.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Why are
so
you hating on everyone?
we need to...
So I got
That's-
the extreme page
Okay,
one.
guys, this is going to be your study material, so you do want them to do something that you can use to study from. So, okay, okay. So we'll probably revisit this slide.
On to characters from chapters 6 and 7.
He makes a mistake.
Okay.
I'll give you a second.
And Colby will be gone
So,
Thursday, Friday.
Right there, it's on 145.
Jay Gatsby. Chapter 6.
All right, so it is there. Vindication.
Boy.
Okay.
Chapter 6, page 98 to 101. Nick tells of Gatsby's early life. Not how it was rumored, but how it was in reality. He was born James Gatz on a North Dakota farm to a family that he did not embrace. Drops out of college in Minnesota and turns to fishing on Lake Superior. There he meets a man named Dan Cody and travels with him on his yacht until Cody dies. He's left $25,000 but is barred from receiving it by Ella Kay. He comes away from this time on the yacht with only the lessons he learned and his newfound love of wealth. To young Gatz, resting on his oars and looking up at the railed deck, that yacht represented all the beauty and glamour in the world. Page 100.
Okay, good. I'm going to ask you some questions about this because this is so important and it's so interesting. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so tell me, if I end up asking you something, you're like, no, it's coming on another slide, just tell me and we'll stop. Okay, so we have James Gatz, who is Gatsby, okay, Jay Gatsby, from North Dakota. What is the idea with his farm family that he did not embrace? What is it about them that he doesn't, quote, embrace?
He just didn't connect with them. That's not the life he wanted to live.
What do you mean the life he wanted to live?
They were wealthy, they wanted rich, healthy, glamorous, they were poor.
Yeah, okay, yeah. They didn't have any money, you're right. He doesn't want, and he talks about that even when he is going to school. He doesn't like being the janitor to pay for his bills, you know, that he has to work these jobs in order to get what he wants. Okay, so Dan Cody. Are you going to have a thing about Dan Cody? A slide about Dan Cody? Okay, so let's talk about Dan Cody.
I have a question about it.
Yes, go ahead. Ask your question.
No,
it's
maybe it's
important.
my
Oh.
slide. My slide. But we can.
Oh.
It's one of his important
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, so do you want to wait?
We can talk.
Okay, so let's talk about Dan Cody.
Just stop us in the middle of
Guys, who is he? What does Jay do for Dan Cody?
He's basically his nanny when he's drunk.
Basically.
So he's his DD.
Good.
He's a monkey.
He's DD on steroids.
Yeah.
Yep. Lock him up when he's drunk, 'cause he is. Okay, so how did Cody make his money? Remember?
Did he make
Got a boat. He sailed the world, was a pirate.
Jay went around the world 3 times with him, but he basically made his money through like mining, like the rush, like gold rush type mining in the Yukon and various places. Okay, so you know his money is kind of, it's almost like gambling type thing too.
reference in my slides?
You what? You have a gold reference in your slides? Okay. Okay, so what's the deal with Ella Kay? What does it mean he's barred from receiving his inheritance?
She
'Cause
doesn't want him to get it because she's like, she wants it.
yes, so he gets tricked out of his money, or kind of like, you know, poor.
Who is Ella Kay? Or, yeah, Kay.
Okay.
Wasn't she his mistress?
His as in,
Cody's.
yes. Okay. It says a lot of women tried to get money away from Cody, but she was successful. Okay. And it sounds like she did what to Cody?
She killed him.
Yes, good.
She killed me?
Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Nick Carraway. Nick seems, in my mind, to be becoming sort of a conscience for Gatsby. On page 110, Nick tells Gatsby that he should not ask too much of Daisy since he cannot repeat the past. Nick is also so caught up with the happenings between Tom and Jay that he has forgotten his own 30th birthday. I wouldn't ask too much of her. You can't repeat the past. Page 110.
And that's probably in your important lines, maybe. I don't know.
No.
Do you have something to know? Okay, so you should look at this, because in this area there's that thing about repeating the past. Can you repeat a past? Because this is what Gatsby wants. He wants to turn back the clock and go back to when he was a lieutenant and Daisy was in love with him before he left for the war. And he wants to recapture what they had. And the big question is, which I will probably ask you, is can you ever go back? Can you turn back the clock? You know?
Not literally.
And can you recreate it? And when we get a little bit further There's kind of a wrench in here that will keep him from recreating.
Tom Buchanan. Chapter 7, Tom's dislike for Gatsby kind of begins and grows. He starts to realize that Gatsby and Daisy have feelings for each other and decides to start a confrontation with Jay. On a trip to New York, Tom accuses Gatsby of never attending Oxford, which he denies. This sparks a debate between Tom and Jay about how Daisy never loved Tom. Tom proceeds to express how he and Daisy have history that Gatsby could never understand, which seems to hurt him deeply. Your wife never loved you. She's never loved you. She loves me. Page 130.
And that's Jay talking there to Tom. And the big part here...
Space?
What?
You said that to space?
Yeah.
In the middle
That
of
was
the
Tom
restaurant.
around.
Yeah. Yeah, these are two guys who are openly going to be going, like, confronting one another over Daisy. But consider... These chapters are important because you learn a lot about Daisy, too, and what Daisy is like, and the difference between old money and new money and how they view one another really comes through in these chapters. Jay, right now, Daisy has told him that she loves him, but that's not enough for Gatsby. He wants her to say that she never loved Tom. And she can't go that far. Okay? And that's, if she can't, how can they restart their dream? Anything else you guys want to say about this part? Questions? No? Okay.
And Daisy. Daisy's love for Gatsby is becoming apparent to Tom in Chapter 7. Confrontation between Jay and Tom hurts Daisy tremendously. Despite the fact that she seems to love Gatsby more, she refuses to say that she never loved Tom. Daisy is also the one to hit Myrtle on the way to Long Island. According to Gatsby, she took the shock well. And even alone, I can't say I never loved Tom. It wouldn't be true. Page 133.
Good. Okay, so in your paraphrase before it says, according to Gatsby, she, as in Daisy, took the shock well. So you've got Daisy causing the death of Myrtle, and then Gatsby is worried that Daisy took the shock well. Does that seem a little bit off? It shows how focused Gatsby is on Daisy. That's his whole world. Yeah.
And that's it.
Okay, good job.
Usually the last since we have questions.
Oh, you don't have to die.
My iPad was okay. So I did important lines.
Okay.
This line comes from chapter 6, page 98. It's more of, but it's a big section that was pretty important. The truth was that Jay Gatsby of West Egg, Long Island, sprang from his Platonic conception of himself. He was a son of God, a phrase which, if it meant anything, means just that. He must be about his father's business, the service of a vast, vulgar, I don't know how to pronounce that,
Meretricious?
meretricious beauty. So he invented just the sort of Jay Gatsby that a 17-year-old boy would like to invent. And to this conception, he was faithful to the end. So this is when Nick is describing Jay Gatsby in his early true history. He uses comparisons between Gatsby and Jesus Christ to show the creation of his own identity. Jesus was God's son and carried out the Word of God, and that is just how Jay Gatsby is carrying out a lot of his father's work.
That he is his own father. He is his own creator, is what they're kind of getting at here. Yep, good.
This comes from chapter 6, page 99. For a while, these reveries provided an outlet for his imagination. They were a satisfactory hint of the unreality of reality. A promise that the rock of the world was founded securely on a fairy's wing. I said this quote is important because it shows how something so important like Earth could be brought together by something so fragile like a fairy's wing. It is also important because it tells how unreal something can actually be.
Yeah, this is one of the important quotes, too, that I underlined in my book. this idea that the hint of the unreality of reality, and that's this idea of the fairy's wing, the magicalness of what Gatsby's trying to create and how it's not real. And even his dream, can it be real? You know, his dream of getting together with Daisy in the end, having this life that they think they would have, or he thinks they should have.
The next quote comes from chapter 6, page 101. He told me all this very much later, but I put it down here with the idea of exploding those first wild rumors about his antecedents, which weren't even faintly true. Moreover, he told to me at a time of confusion, when I had reached the point of believing everything and nothing about him. This quote shows how Gatsby is perceived wrongly. People have heard crazy wild rumors about him that some people don't even know what to believe.
Yes, and particularly Nick. You know, this is, Gatsby finally opens up and tells Nick, because Nick has, you know, is like, yeah, I don't know what to believe. There's so much confusion about everything, all the rumors. And then he goes, and then he goes on to tell us about Gatsby's real life.
This is from chapter 7, page 120. Her voice is full of money, he said suddenly. That was it. I'd never understood before, but it was full of money. This is Gatsby telling Nick, the narrator, that Daisy's voice is full of money. Nick finally understands that about Daisy, that she chases money, and then I put, quote-unquote, the gold digger.
Okay, and it's not even just money. It's going to be, yeah, class, that idea of old money. They're going to find that there are some things that are very different between old money and new money, and how a lot of the old money looked down on new money.
So is Gatsby old money? Or
He's new.
He's new.
Yep, he made his money. The people with old money live in East Egg, and they are the ones that have inherited their wealth. They've had it for years and years. They have so much money they don't have to work. They have no purpose, and that's part of Daisy and Tom's problem. They don't have any purpose in life. With Gatsby, and then even the people that are at Gatsby's house when Tom and Daisy come finally, Gatsby has them there, and he says, you know, there are probably a lot of people here, a lot of faces that you know, and Tom says, no, we don't know these people. And then it goes on to talk about how they are producers and actresses and things. Think West Coast, people who've made new money. So they aren't of the same class as, and that's one of the reasons Tom and Daisy haven't been there. They don't hang out with those sorts. So, and Jay just doesn't quite get that, Jay Gatsby. It's like when, who is it, Mr. Stoner or something? Sloan, yeah. When Mr. Sloan, he and Tom and the girl are there at Gatsby's, and Nick is there, and they're going to go back and have dinner, and the young lady invites Jay to go along with them, and he goes to get his hat and coat and stuff like that, and they all leave because he doesn't get it. They don't want him to come. Sloan and Tom don't want him to come. They have no interest in him. He's new money. He's not one of them. He won't know anyone at their dinner. But Jay Gatsby doesn't get it. He almost thinks like, okay, now I'm going to be accepted. He's the guy that has eternal hope, that optimism, that maybe I can make it. Maybe I can get Daisy. I can become part of this, but he'll never break in. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. My last quote here is from chapter 7, page 130. She never loved you, do you hear? He cried. She only married you because I was poor and she was tired of waiting for me. It was a terrible mistake, but in her heart she never loved anyone except me. This quote shows that it's important to Gatsby to believe that Daisy never loved Tom because Gatsby needs self-assurance that Daisy only wanted Tom for his money. This is because Gatsby can always obtain money. However, if Daisy likes Tom for who he is as a person, then Gatsby can't change this, and he can't make her stop loving him.
And if Daisy won't, if she values that idea of being in that certain point in society, that old money, there's no way Gatsby can break into that. He has money, but it's not that type of money. It's not for those people. So,
And that's the last quote, so we'll go to
Okay.
questions.
good job.
Who came to Gatsby's house to talk to him? The reporter came, because she heard all the rumors about what was going on. She wanted to see if they were true.
Yeah. It was kind of like a shot in the dark, we're told from the reporter. Doesn't really know what was going on, just asked Gatsby, is there anything you want to tell us?
And then, what is Gatsby's real name, and where does he come from? His name is James Gatz.
Cats, yeah.
And
Rhymes with
he's
cats.
from a North Dakota farm.
Yes.
What does Gatsby stop doing because of his love for Daisy? He stops throwing parties because he realized that he doesn't need to anymore because Daisy, like, him and her are reunited, so he doesn't need to keep trying to bring her in.
Yeah, and she doesn't even like the parties. She is appalled by them. She comes to the first one, and then when she comes back the second time with Tom, I believe, is it the second time they come? Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah, she's appalled by what she sees, and she does not like it. It's not impressive to her. So he's been doing these things all this time to try and impress her, and that's not doing it for her.
Then he stops the one because she's unhappy.
Yeah, and the more that she starts spending time at his house, then he gets rid of all his servants because he doesn't want the rumors out there, stops throwing parties.
So, 2 questions. Who and why does
Oh.
Gatsby fire?
Sorry.
Gatsby fired all of his servants because so they would stop spreading rumors, and hires people from Wolf Sheen.
Yep. Wolfshine, the guy with the molar
Yeah.
buttons, the
Yeah,
criminal.
the teeth.
Yep.
And, who is Dan Cody? Dan Cody is the man that Gatsby met when he was in Minnesota on the yacht, and Cody took him as an assistant to help him with the yacht.
And this was what opened up Jay's eyes to the world of if you have wealth, this is what you can have, and he liked that. Yeah.
What did Dan Cody do, like, for, like, his...
He was a gold miner.
Yeah, he was, a gold miner, a speculator. Yeah, he'd go up into the Yukon, gold rush that type of thing.
And what does it do on the hottest day of the summer? He goes on a train to go have lunch with Tom and Daisy in the city.
Yep. And that's when everything kind of breaks loose. Okay?
Can money give you everything in life? There's a part in chapter 7 where Gatsby's saying where if he did his money will always please Daisy, and then she will like love him for that.
And is it going to work?
No.
Okay.
And then I should say, why is Gatsby hiding in the bushes at Tom's house?
Okay, it should be Gatsby. Okay.
And that's because
Oh, yeah.
Gatsby's waiting to see if Tom's gonna like hurt Daisy because she just killed Myrtle with his car.
And okay, so let's talk about the confusion. So with the cars and the accident. So Tom, what's the deal with Tom and Jay switching cars? Because they're driving each other's cars, right?
Yeah, because Daisy wanted to go with Gatsby. Right?
Okay. Yeah, so they're in each other's cars. Let's see, what else can I say? Okay, so what's the deal with, does everybody know that Daisy was driving?
No,
What do they assume?
It was Gatsby.
They assume it was Gatsby, and they assume he's been, yeah. Why doesn't Gatsby drink, though? He never drinks.
because
Oh, there you go. Because he doesn't drink before this, right? So he's not driving drunk, which was everyone presumes, but it's not what happened. Why? Okay.
because he doesn't want to become Cody because he drinks all the time and he just doesn't want that to happen to him.
Right. He learns a lesson from watching Cody about all the terrible things that alcohol can do in your life, right? And so he doesn't drink. So it's not Gatsby driving drunk that would cause this accident. What is Jay willing to do for Daisy?
Take the blame.
Yeah, to take the blame. It's kind of ironic when you think of Daisy killing Myrtle. I mean,
Yeah, because Myrtle's the mistress.
yeah, Myrtle's her husband's mistress. It's like, okay. Okay, sorry, meaning to interrupt you.
And those are the last. That's the last of our slides.
Okay,
Doesn't Gatsby have the white card?
yes.
We agreed it was a cream color. But
White card. Card,
Oh,
he's
hard.
saying. Yes,
'Cause
yes.
It was a hit and run.
Right.
It didn't.
Didn't stop.
Wait, so did she like absolutely mean to hit Myrtle? I mean, probably.
It doesn't seem like it from what's
Or did
written,
she,
but
like,
it's how you
walk into the
interpret it.
street and bam?
Okay,
So she,
did she?
okay,
She knew that Tom had a mistress, but did she know who it was?
we don't know. It doesn't seem like it, does it?
No.
It seems like she's always just the woman on the phone. Because like even there, before they leave from that party, Tom has that conversation on the phone. Well, I'm not selling you the car. And Daisy says, oh, he's got the receiver down. He's pretending to talk to someone that's not his mistress, but he is talking to his mistress. So it doesn't seem so. And it seems the way it's relayed would lead you to think that it was an accident. Even Jay talks about how she couldn't stop, and then he tried to, I don't know, like the emergency brake or something. He tried to grab the steering wheel, and it just wouldn't work, and they went off.
Vehicular manslaughter.
That's only if it was an accident, though.
As far
We
as I
don't
know,
know
it's
if
an
it was
accident.
an accident.
What?
Maybe Daisy was drunk.
If it was an accident? that's
We don't know if it was.
Daisy doesn't really drink either, though.
It's
Her
vehicular
and
man.
Oh, Daisy drinks.
Yeah,
I
Daisy
said,
got
but not,
wasted in a
not like
bathtub.
not really.
She drinks. Yeah.
I thought that like.
Didn't you guys do the chapter where Daisy was in the
Yeah,
bathtub?
yeah. I know that she drinks, but I thought like she rarely drank.
Yeah, so she's not a drinker.
Yeah.
Like she's.
Oh, so you're saying like maybe,
She had one of them drinks, Lance, where she was in the
but she's had a
bathtub.
number of
Bathtub,
scenes
she
where
was in the car.
she's,
But
maybe it was at that point that she was rarely a drinker.
yeah.
And maybe now with her,
All this stress
people.
between two men.
well, just in the social crowds maybe.
Yeah. Do you need me to find it?
No, I know what you're talking about. It's before the wedding,
Yeah.
and she gets drunk. Which what I mean is, like, she's much older now, so maybe now. Okay, the one thing that we didn't cover that we should talk about is Daisy's child.
Daisy, Gatsby doesn't feel like it's
They sound like Daisy.
Yeah, yeah. So the nurse brings out Daisy's little girl, and she talks to them briefly. But that's important because that's part of the scene that you're right. It's like Gatsby doesn't think, I mean, it's like a shock to him, like that's real. Okay, how's he going to turn back the clock when Daisy's got a child?
Is it from Jay?
Yeah. There's no, the years would not make it Jay's. It's Tom's child.
It is.
Yeah, it's definitely Tom's child.
This Heller was between murder and manslaughter.
Homicide's accidental.
Google?
Manslaughter.
Manslaughter.
Okay, any more questions about this chapter?
Accidental.
We're good? Okay.